Shake that.
Where have you been? I miss you. When are you making more Holly content? What is your OnlyFans? I've never had an OnlyFans. What is your Snapchat? I haven't used Snapchat since 2018. I'm not a 12-year-old. When are you making another video? When are you going to race? How's the new motor going? It runs, it drives. Why aren't you making any more content? Alright, so let's go ahead and do some stuff. And let's have a little conversation about where I've been. I've been right here in Texas this whole time. However, some stuff happened. I kind of hinted at it the last time. But we can talk about it. Some of you all already know. Most of you probably don't. Alright, those of you that have a 3rd gen with a glass hood, especially this one from VFN that is extremely light, and you still have the stock hinges, this is a great way to keep your hood open. This is nothing more than some 3/4 inch aluminum from the Depot of Homes, not sponsored. I measured it out to roughly the same length as the stock hook strut when it was fully extended, and cut it and drilled it. But that's just a nice little distraction from this video. But I've seen a couple people asking. So where have I been? So I have a little history lesson here. While we change spark plugs. So coffee went down wrong. So back in 2006, I had come back from Iraq and for my first trip, and I married a lovely lady called Natasha. Natasha had a 3-year-old daughter at the time. So, 3-year-old daughter, and her name was Skylar. And so Skylar was, like I said, she was 3 when me and her mom got married. I was married to her mom from 2006 to 2009 when I went to Iraq for my 3rd time. And things didn't work out with me and her mom. There's another child from that marriage, my daughter Savannah. She's my child, and for some years I had 2 intelligent, beautiful young girls. Anyways, like I said, things didn't work out between myself and Natasha. And so we divorced, and we split up in 2009 when I went to Iraq. And then we divorced, like finalized divorce and all that in 2013. I maintained contact with Skylar, watched her grow up, but I didn't adopt her for a few reasons. Stayed in touch what I could. But, you know, her mom and her biological dad had no obligation to for Skylar and me. So, you know, it's tough. So anyways, Skylar had some things happen to her in her life, and I was there for her when I could be. I talked to her when I could, and probably not often enough. Some of that's because of the line of work that I'm in, but some of it's just me as a person. So these FireCore wires are infinitely better than MSD. Don't buy MSD. Do buy the solid state relay. Do not buy their plug wires. Those plug wires are absolute dog shit. Again, this isn't about MSD plug wires. Anyways, what was I saying? So Skylar had some things happen in her life. Some of them are things that shouldn't happen to anyone, ever. I always tried to be there for her. Again, maybe not as much as I should have. I thought she was working through them and handling them pretty well, but apparently not. So, and I'm not telling y'all this story for a bunch of sympathy or I'm sorry for your loss, because that's not what this is about. This is about why I haven't been doing much. The day that I got my car running, the title of that video is called First Startup on the New Motor. That evening, Skylar killed herself. That was pretty hard. It was March 6th. A few weeks later, I went up for the funeral and the service and all that. Anyways, I'd talked to my ex-wife. With a lot of people that I hadn't seen in quite a few years, and I wish I could have done that trip under better circumstances. So that's one thing. That's one reason, and probably the significant. There's three. Where's the fourth? There it is. Probably the biggest reason why I had lost a lot of steam and working on this. Even though we'd been split up, she loved that car. When I married her mom, I still had the car I had in college, which was a 91 Camaro. Camaro Rally Sport had a 305 and a 4L60. It was really nothing special, but yeah, I kind of thought it was at the time, and she really enjoyed it. So, anyways, that was hard. Another one is that working on cars, doing this is not my only hobby. If you see, my garage is covered in walnut dust, and I've got walnuts on the floor, some leftovers, some slabs. So another project that I'd been wanting to do, I just wanted to get the Camaro running and driving. So that I could get the car out of the garage easily to work on it, was I wanted to build a new kitchen table. I really enjoy the woodworking. Awesome. Okay, it hit the ground. So, I really enjoy the woodworking. And I'd set a goal a few years ago that I was going to replace all of the store-bought furniture in my house with things that I made. And so that was the next thing I worked on after I got my car running. So I got the table done. And about that same time, the Biden crime family had completely ruined the f***ing gas prices.
1 hour later.
And don't think I'm pro-Trumper either. I'll f***ing rail on that mother too.
2 hours later.
Got a car that I'm not entirely motivated to work on. And then gasoline. I moved here to Texas February 2021, right after that corrupt piece of shit was inaugurated. Gasoline was at $2 a gallon. And in just over a year, it jumps to $5.
3 hours later.
Don't have a whole lot of motivation to work on it in the first place. It becomes f***you expensive to drive. And I've got some other hobbies that I enjoy as well. Then, to top that off, I'm still in the Army. I'm getting close to retirement. And I'm in a unit that I absolutely cannot stand. But, you know, it's not too professional to talk about work and blah blah blah, and so I don't talk about it, except for right now. I'm in a job that I hate, in a unit that I hate. One of my hobbies is not fun anymore. So, there we go. And I tried to put on brave face, and I made some truck stuff, right? Because I'd like trucks also. And, you know, it was too much. So, I had started working on a video for this. I'll just show you. Taking the USB cords that were sticking out of here and putting them into a USB bulkhead right on the dash for the Pro Dash. Well, it's all shot. couldn't do anything with the footage. It's still on the laptop. But I don't know. So anyways, this is a long-winded way of saying where I've been. But also, you know, everybody's talking about it lately, but the mental health thing and the self-health and all that. Look, guys, it's important. I'm not gonna blow rainbows and sunshine up your ass because life sucks sometimes. And you're not entitled to a thing. So, I had some people that reached out. One of my best friends, Brian. He was the first person I called when Skylar died. And Brian called me every day just to talk. And sometimes we'd talk about her, because he knew her. Sometimes we'd just talk about cars or politics or whatever the is going on. And sometimes we just talk, and he was there for me every single day. Some other people, a lot of people reached out, and I appreciate every single person that reached out. And if you reached out and I didn't respond to you, do not take it personal. There's so many people I couldn't keep up with it all. So anyways, I'm gonna plug somebody or an organization or whatever. They're not sponsored. I just think that it's a little important. It's called BetterHelp, and they'll do the therapy and the counseling and all that. They'll do it remote. You don't have to do it in person. And if you need to talk, if you got something going on, reach out to them. So that's cool. So there's that. Right. I hate my job, and without getting too much into it, there was that's cool. So essentially, I'm in the Army, but I work with the NSA doing some communication security stuff. Well, part of that means that you have to get inspected from time to time. And again, without going into too much, without going into too much detail, you have to be inspected and audited and all that nonsense. So, my organization had failed 2 previous audits. Failed 2 previous audits, and was at risk of being shut down if they had failed 3rd. So this was a known issue when I took this position over, but the full extent of everything that needed to be fixed was not known. They just knew that they just knew it needed work. So I came in, I took it over, and I didn't even fully appreciate how bad things were. So a lot of hours working. And I basically lived at work, and I came home and I slept and fed dogs. But there was some people that reached out, including my own kid. And, you know, I was working a lot, maybe a lot more than I should have. But so anyways, I was working a lot and I wasn't talking to anybody. Which is, again, not great for the mental health, but you're excluding other people that care about you. Talk to your people. Don't exclude them. And so that was a good half hour or so of changing plugs. So I guess that's a long way of saying we're gonna try and do better. But all right. So, again, drinking the coffee. So, anyways, oh, so there's some other stuff too, besides that I hate my job and all that, is there's some health stuff that's come up, and that I'm not ready to talk about with y'all yet. Some of y'all know. Here's what I will say. Man, all them things with the warnings on it, or the jokes about finding your cuts with brake clean, man, don't do that shit. Wear sunscreen when you go outside. Don't use brake clean. Don't use a carb cleaner. Man, ventilate your workspaces. Use protection when you're grinding or welding or whatever the case is. Everything that we do will have an impact on your health. Dudes, it's not just the car shit. It's everything. If you're woodworking, wear a mask. Not the COVID mask. Like, keep that sawdust out of your lungs, man. Camera stopped recording earlier. Dudes, you gotta take care of your health better. My veteran friends, my GWAT vets, guys, they done put us in some real f***ed up situations. Right, the burn pits, we've heard enough about that, but there is a lot of health consequences with the burn pits and the smoking and everything else that we did to our bodies. The explosives and all the dirty, nasty chemicals that were in that. Y'all, you gotta take care of your health. It's not funny, man. Memes are great, but when that doctor looks at you and says you got something serious going on, it ain't funny anymore, man. And so to everybody that was there for me with Skylar, I love you, right? Brian, Steve, Matt, Chris, right? I love you guys. Take care of your health, guys. Mental health, everything. And if you need to take time off, don't muscle through some shit. If you're going through something, you might think talking or getting help's not manly. You know it's not fucking manly? Blowing your fucking head off because you're going through something. That's all I got. I got nothing else for an outro. Be good people. Thanks for watching. Okay, thanks, bye.